each day. Is that something that Peter'd be interested in?
You know, Jay, I got to tell you, I believe that you know, any public support for our cause is absolutely appreciated. Of course, we don't want you threatening anyone's wife or children like, you know, Mike Norman might have claimed that some of our supporters or Peter Schiff's supporters have done over the so, you know, anything you do, we ask you to keep it classy. But I'll tell you this, you know, we always appreciate the support, and I happen to know that, you know, there are people interested in putting Peter into a format where you know, he does have a broader audience.
And you know what? I think it's better that there's people like Jim Cramer out there, because what they do is they drive people, they create value for us. You know, they drive people into U.S. equities, they drive people away from gold, they drive people into buying the stuff they should be buying, and that way we can buy it cheaper. I prefer that.
If anybody out there is a Jim Cramer you know, fan, or whether you are or not, you should go to YouTube and look at, you know, just YouTube Jim Cramer flip-flop. And there are some classic clips from, you know, from this summer, I think June or July 13th. I think it's just like Friday the 13th. One day he's saying, you've got to be in financials, you've got to be in financials. And the next day he's saying, oh, you know what, you know, anybody that was in financials wasn't listening to me. Now, look, I'm not going to jump on anyone's back for making a prediction, making a wrong prediction. Hey, look, it is what it is. Let's just, you know, keep in mind that there's a certain line there between entertainment and news that, you know, we always talk about being blurred, and certainly that doesn't just pertain to, you know, a CNN or what have you. I mean, it also pertains to, you know, even the business news channels, and you know, they've got to get their ratings. And Jim Cramer gets ratings. So, and, you know, he's a very, very smart man, and more power to him. You know, I have a lot of respect for him in that respect. So. And
you know what? To his credit, he always says, consult your financial advisor before buying anything I mention on the show. And, you know, if you had done that and you asked me, I would have said, sure, whatever Jim Cramer tells you to buy. So, you know, more power to him. Keep him on the air, and, you know, let's see more of the same in the future.
Thanks for the call, Jesse. Appreciate it. Okay, we're going to Mike in Tennessee. Happy New Year, Mike. How are you?
Hey,
hello,
guys.
Mike.
Thanks for
Mike.
having me on.
Oh, no problem, Mike.
Hey, I just had a question about, I've been listening to Peter's stuff and going back in his archives. He's very consistent. I believe all the good stuff he says. Only conflict I seem to have a little bit is kind of is buying things that you know. You know, at least in the U.S., you kind of know different companies. You have some idea about what you think about them. And I've got an account with you guys, got it funded, but I'm just holding up just a little bit on some of the stuff that y'all recommend, just because, you know, it's foreign countries, it's foreign companies. It's just, do you guys go and do any research, Peter or his people? Go and research individual companies, or are you just kind of looking at their books? Or
Yeah, Mike, you know, you can go on our website, Europac.net, and about us, you can actually check our research team. We have a dedicated staff of people in Newport Beach under Gordon McBean who research the companies. You know, their job is to just follow these companies. And, you know, I mentioned how, you know, today's market is the other side of the coin from February of 2000. You know, sometimes the market, especially being as volatile as it is, doesn't correctly value these equities. And so, you know, holding tight in markets like these is just as smart as getting out of the market, you know, when tech stocks were overvalued. Yeah, we are researching the stocks. We're very aware of what's going on. You know, Peter and the analysts send us, you know, daily updates on every single company. Your broker is very aware of any changing news out of the company. You know, they're watching the income sheets and the balance statement. And so, you know, we're very aware. And if you do have any specific questions, you know, feel free to give your broker a call, or you could even contact the research guys.
Yeah, Mike, and just to reiterate, no broker in this company, you know, just randomly, you know, picks the positions that they want to invest their clients in. I mean, you know, ultimately, every position that we advocate is signed off on by Peter Schiff and our analysts, not only our internal analysts that we utilize, but of course, you know, other third-party analysts, you know, whether it's ABN AMRO, Canaccord, Deutsche Bank. I mean, you know, the potential that we have to gather the information is tremendous, and to make, you know, well-informed investment decisions from our perspective is tremendous. And so, certainly, when you come to us for a service, and you know, you're asking, you know, a full-service brokerage to make the recommendations and to guide you appropriately, and that's where the trust level comes in. I completely understand it's very difficult, you know, when you can't just drive down the road and, you know, see the factory of the company that you're investing in, or you know, understand it's, you know, you're drinking a Coca-Cola, you kind of know if you like the taste or not. You know, the thing is, a lot of the companies that we're investing in internationally are more fundamentally sound than anything that you can lay your eyes on, you know, locally. And so we would certainly stand behind our research. We feel very proud that we're going to, you know, add even more to our research team moving forward in the future. And yeah, I would certainly at this point in time, I would not be sitting in U.S. dollar cash, sitting on the sidelines. To the extent, and this with a lot of our clients as well. Look, if you understand the big picture, and you're calling up and you're listening to the show, and I've had clients call me up and say, I've been listening to Peter for 2 years, or 3 years, and okay, well, what are you waiting on here? I'm not really worried. I'm worried about foreign stock markets. Well, look, there's options, there's alternatives, there's ways to preserve your wealth, whether it's foreign currency funds, whether it's bonds that Steve spoke about earlier, whether it's the precious metals. I mean, there are things that we present and we offer aside from just strictly equities. That said, certainly I think that the downside risk in the U.S. dollars and the risk to doing nothing is much greater than the risk to doing something, and especially when you look at the fundamental values of the companies in which we're investing in today. So you appreciate that call. Definitely a very good question. And you have anything to add?
I think the real risk is putting all your eggs in one basket, whether it's the U.S. dollar or any one stock. Plenty of people that were working at Lehman Brothers and WAMU had all their money in company 401ks. And now for someone sitting just in cash or just in T-bills, again, all your money is in one basket. And so what we can do is diversify into a broad basket of foreign currencies, and you're protected from any one currency taking a fall.
Yeah, that's a really good point, as well as the diversification. Ultimately, when you analyze or when you value a company, let's say it's a multinational, you would look at this as a positive. When you say, they have income from diverse income streams. They have these operations, they have earnings in this currency, that currency. I mean, this is good diversity. So why not, take that model and diversify your own personalized portfolio internationally? Give yourself an opportunity to have income in foreign currencies. It doesn't mean like when we invest in our model, for those that don't know, we are value investors. We buy and hold long term, some instances for several years, because we don't have to sell the stock to realize capital gains. What we can do is depend upon the consistency of the dividends being paid into us from foreign currencies, which is the dollar declines, the purchasing power of those currencies increase. And so, again, to use an analogy that Peter writes about in his book, you're basically that wealthy tourist in a third world country or second world country, except, you never had to leave home. The only thing that had to leave home was your portfolio. And so that's definitely something to consider, and we'll go on to the next caller now. But Amit in New Jersey, you're on the air. Amit, Happy New Year.
Hey, Amit.
Happy New Year. Hey, I was in the military for about 5 years. I graduated. Right now I'm sent to go to medical school.
Well, congratulations.
And thank you.
Yep. I'm headed over to the I'm leaving in weeks. I'm in a situation now where I have about I have enough, at least at current rates, to get by and live modestly, pay tuition for about 4.5 years. But the money I have saved up, from like my bank account, brokerage, and I roll over all my IRA into one place. I kind of want to, just protect against, if there is like a hyperinflationary scenario for the dollar. I just if that sort of thing does come into fruition, I kind of want to protect against, losing my ability to pay my tuition and rent.
We'd be happy to help you with that. Go on Europac.net. You can, just like we have the research team under About Us, you can go to each individual branch. You said you're in New Jersey. We have a branch over there in Manhattan. We have one in Connecticut. And you can talk to somebody specifically about your investments, and they'll be able to help you get out of the dollar and avoid the potential hyperinflation.
And it doesn't matter whether you're starting medical school or whether you've worked your entire life. The desire to save and protect and preserve the wealth that you've accumulated, certainly spans the generations. And so what we specialize in, again, is offering those alternatives for our clients, and certainly anybody in our company will be happy to talk with you, whether you want to talk to somebody on the East Coast or West. We're certainly happy to take that call. Tom in California. Tom, Happy New Year. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Good.
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year, Tom.
I either heard an interview or read something this week that said there was someone in Japan who was telling the Japanese government to write off all American debt. Did you hear that? And I thought, I've been thinking about that all week, thinking, would